Yeah. Yeah. Okay, let's begin. Okay, let's begin. Hey, who'd you talk to? What's going on? It is me, Mike Lepre, King Mike Hill. This is Legit Paranormal, brought to you by Legit Podcast.com. It is September 1st, 2024. Thank the heavens we're out of August. What a junk month. It's not quite summer. It's not quite fall. It just stinks. Thank you, September. Looking forward to it. What we got? Hold on really quick. Math Geeks. 9 and a 1, and then we get 2, 2, and 4. What will I do with that? I have no idea. Joining me, as always, is Sarah Parra.
Normal.
What is good in your hood?
I'm ready for fall. See, I'm in my cozy fall living room. It's Halloween now, basically.
No.
It's Halloween.
No.
It's Halloween.
No.
Yes, it is. Yep.
No.
I know. I bet you our guest is going to agree with me.
Football has to get its fair share of a run. Give us that. Give us a week. Give us a week of it, please.
Look at. I even got some spooky dolls sitting over there in the corner. I got my spooky dolls out. Yeah.
I don't subscribe to what you talk about. Would you like to do the introduction of tonight's guest?
I would be honored.
Oh, no.
So we have been on a little bit of hiatus here, so I could think of nothing more fitting for our first live show back than to have on one of our favorites peoples ever. She's an accomplished author. She's a paranormal investigator. And she's awesome. It's Cyn Shrader Hill, author. Yay! There she is.
Hey, you guys. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, thanks for coming, Cyn.
And it is the first day of Halloween.
It is.
Day
I
one.
tried to explain this to him earlier. It's what it is now. September 1st hits. Boom.
You know what? Let me be honest here. Because of the fact that I want football to have its fair share of a run, and because my birthday is towards the end of September, like, I don't want to hear about Halloween till September 27th. I really wish I could come up with a compromise with the Halloween people, because I like Halloween, but they drive it. They start it so freaking early. I want to throw up by the time it's Halloween. So who can I talk to?
Who can we talk to, Cyn?
Halloween stuff. We work on a date, move it back. Yes,
I'm thinking it just needs to stay where it is. And because football, how long does football last, Mike? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how long.
Too long.
Football lasts.
Long. Well, not long enough. But
Halloween doesn't last long enough.
No, because they're going to start putting Christmas crap out soon.
Oh,
it is out. It's out.
It's out already?
Yes.
No.
With the stores, yes.
So see, there you go. Look at your little dance. If you get your Christmas, this is our Christmas, okay? Give us our Halloween.
I would so do. Look, listen. I wish I could do like a Christmas show, because of my love of Christmas. But again, you get to stick with the fact that I'm talking about the world of Santa in that universe. That's what I miss. That's what I love about Christmas, right? Santa.
Cyn.
How about dirty Santa or nice Santa? What are you talking about?
Oh, no. Nice Santa.
Dirty Santa could be a whole bunch of stuff.
No, I don't.
But like Krampus. I like Krampus.
I love Krampus.
I like me some Krampus. And Cyn, this year, I am getting a black Christmas tree.
I want to see it.
I have it all up. It's gonna be a Halloween Christmas tree. Look at his face.
I've already seen 2 Halloween trees up on Facebook. They've already posted it. They've just put them up. Sorry, Mike.
I just might Christmas people to death this year. I'm thinking about it. I'm really this close. Cyn,
Yeah.
I wanted to actually go to the cattle. But first,
You're going out, Mike.
You're going in and out.
How about now?
Now it's
Better.
good.
I'm better?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I wanted to go over your catalog of books, but first, I want to explain what happened to me last week or this week. I don't remember. I got to be honest. It might have been this week. Anyways, I read somewhere that Hulk Hogan was going to be at a local liquor store. And I'm sitting there and I go, I got to go meet Hulk Hogan. Like, let's go. And I'm like, my daughter's like, I'll give you a ride. I'm like, all right. And I went early. And as I'm getting dressed, though, right? Then hear me out. I put on a pink tank top, right?
As you would.
Yeah, right. And my daughter's going, what are you doing? I'm going, what are you talking about? She goes, put a t-shirt on or something. I'm like, I'm going to meet Hulk Hogan. Like, what are you talking about? You have to wear a tank. My theory is, if you can wear a tank top and go meet Hulk Hogan, you should wear the tank top and go meet Hulk Hogan. What does that sound like to you guys? Any sense at all?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to look small regardless, so you might as well.
Wait,
I mean, it's Hulk.
Let me tell you something. I look small, but let me tell you something. It's a pleasure to hear I look small next to Hulk Hogan. Now, but it's the other thing. But for the record, I wasn't that much smaller than him. I wasn't. He's about 1 inch or 2, probably taller than me. He's heavier than me, but in the ballpark. Anyways,
he still looks good. He still looks good.
So, anyways, I'm in line with all these wrestling fans, right? Like, and they're all talking like wrestling and all this stuff. And this one kid does this and says that. And my daughter was staying with me for a while, but she was just too warm. And I was like, just go. I'll figure this out, whatever. And I started heckling people in line, like I did the wrestling mode. Makes sense? Yeah. I was like heckling this girl to give me a hat, one of the hats for his beer. Real American beer, it's called. And it's got a picture of him flexing in front of the flag.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah. I bought a case. It's signed on the wall over here.
Nice.
But anyways, I got up to him. He heard all these people's stories, right? And I woke up. The first thing I said to him was, I spoke to him about a podcast that he did where it was on Rogan and then on someone else's, where he talked about him hitting bottom, right? Because he's Hulk Hogan. In my like, he's like Santa in my head, right? I know there's like all this stuff he said and done in the past, but I'm not thinking that. I'm thinking little kid Hulk Hogan, right? So to see him when he was at his lowest, when like his daughter was whatever, the son got in the accident, the wife left him for the whatever. He had this happen to him. A tape came out of him having this and saying this word. This came out. Like all the stuff that's happened to him. And how he crashed, right? And he ended up with like a religious psalms, I guess, whatever they are, across like a forearm. And it was a really good podcast because it was like crazy to see him show weakness, Hulk Hogan. So I walked up to him and I guess everybody else was talking wrestling. I'm like, I got to tell you, it was really inspirational. I said the podcast you did with so-and-so where you explained like how you whatever this, and you leaned on God to get you through it. And he was like, so like you shake his hand, you're supposed to look at the camera and then walk off. And I swear to you. And I jetted that to him. I shook his hand and he kept shaking my hand. And I looked at the photo and he wasn't like, oh, my hand. He started talking to me. He was like, he said something like, no, this is exactly what he said, actually. He shook my hand. He said, so you're my brother in Christ. Now, Hulk Hogan just said to me, am I his brother in Christ? Cyn, I'm shaking Hulk Hogan's hand and I go, amen. Right? What else? Well, look, listen. So he shook my hand more. He said something about like I made his day because he goes, see all this? It's bullshit. He said all this stuff, it's just bullshit.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm just trying to get paid and go and get you know, and it was great, right? So now I everyone needs to know that I am a brother in Christ with Hulk Hogan.
Oh, cheese and rice.
I don't know if that's gonna be good, bad, and different. I don't know what's gonna happen, but Cyn, I'm gonna try it out.
I'm going to go with nothing is going to happen. Cyn, what do you think? I'm going to think that this is going to be the same.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Cyn,
Mike,
what would you do if you met Hulk Hogan?
I would shake his hand. Actually, I would do a shake hug. Shake hug.
He wasn't really hugging. To be honest, he wasn't really hugging. He wasn't.
I would. You asked me what I would do.
You would probably get away with it. Yeah.
I would because it's Hulk Hogan, and I would hug him.
What do he smell like?
He doesn't smell like The Rock.
You can't smell what he's cooking?
Cyn, if you want to know the truth, he had the bluest eyes I've ever seen in my life.
I bet.
His eyes were so big, and they're starting to like pop out almost. I don't know what that means when you get older, but
hypertension.
They're so blue. They're so blue, and he's shaking my hand, and he's asking me if I'm gonna be his brother in Christ. But when he says the word brother, he says it like brother. And what the Christ am I supposed to do when Hulk Hogan says that to me and drops a brother on me?
Well, I think you did the right thing.
Thank you, Cyn.
I mean, but that's the way you felt too, right?
Oh, of course.
Well, then it was the correct.
I wasn't ready to go to that level. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not so dedicated that I should be. I felt, but I am privileged to be his brother in Christ.
Well, yeah.
Wait. Can I ask? Can I tell Cyn something? Can I tell Cyn something?
Yes.
Cyn, I'm moving, and the reason I'm getting the Black Christmas tree and doing all this is the first time I'm gonna have my own apartment. I can decorate it however I want. It's all gonna be spooky. Wow. My apartment, it's an old church, and they made it into apartments.
Oh,
and where my apartment was part of the rectory, and I'm so excited about this.
Yeah,
because there's this octagonal type room with windows, and I cannot wait to go to the library and find out what part of the rectory that was in, because I'm just hoping.
I bet it's beautiful.
That it's beautiful, but I really hope that it's haunted too.
Well,
what part of the rectory?
I'm going to tell you right now. Yes, it is.
Because you're all sorts of, just so like pagan religions, Christian religions, we're all praying, we're chanting, we're conjuring things, we're doing spell work, we're doing this stuff. There's got to be stuff there.
All right, hold on. Cyn.
What?
Mike.
Cyn.
Mike.
You are a guest, so I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
Do you think that the things that maybe were important for us are the ones that got like slandered and knocked down the most?
Wait.
Yeah, I didn't hear.
What was?
Did I break up?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Give me a second. Watch this.
Dun 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 dun.
You hear me now?
He's back. Yes.
Do you ever wonder if, like, you see how like things that are important get smashed down, or things that are beyond people's control they push down because they don't want it to be known?
Absolutely.
Have you ever thought, looking back, even just in the last like 30, 40 years, right? What has happened to religion? Like how bad of a stigma it got? I don't care which one it was. In general, it got, especially the Catholic, obviously, it got a very bad stigma of just this, right? Which I'm not saying is obviously it's obviously. What I'm trying to say is, though, as a whole, the idea of the religion before it got tainted by the people with power. Let's keep them out of it. I'm talking about the religion itself. It brought people together on a community level. It was a way where people actually thought they could cleanse themselves of sins.
Yes, but you're specifically speaking about Christian religions,
Okay.
because it's in now to be Muslim and satanic.
Well, what's satanic? How would I join that?
There, satanic churches are rising up all over the place now.
What are they? What are the rules?
They preach of love,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of other stuff involved. So
There's Cyn, have you seen Hail Satan? Have you seen Hail Satan about the start of the Satanic Church? Look that up. I bet you would enjoy it, Cyn.
I don't know.
It's not got anything to do with Satan. It doesn't have actually anything to do with Satan at all.
I think a lot of it is covered up.
You think?
Yes, it's more like how the Masonic Temple, Knights Templar, all that kind of stuff. Everything is covered up from keeping the actual truth out.
Look, the Smithsonian in their basement, and then the Vatican.
The Vatican basement. Think about that.
Put those two together, and you're going to have stuff that we're not ready for. I guarantee. Well, I don't guarantee it, because what do I know? I'm just making jokes. But that's what I would say. Doesn't it feel like that, Cyn?
Well, doesn't the Vatican even have a room in the basement for satanic worship? Or not actually worship, but artifacts of Satanism.
Must.
Like that.
You would think.
You would figure they would collect information
Everything.
on all religions.
Yeah. So
Well, wouldn't they have to study that? Don't you have to know your enemy, right?
No,
So, if the Catholic Church is the enemy is Satan, then you would have to know your enemy. You would have to study.
Exactly, but can't you study without so many artifacts and things? I mean, how many artifacts do you have to study them?
What if they're dangerous other places?
Well, then you've got the Zach Bagans Museum of Religion.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Right.
It's a museum of religion.
Well, if they've got Satanism, in their basement, they've also got Muslim stuff. They've got, everything you can imagine in their basement.
I don't believe that you should be someone that's like everybody's fine, because in times like someone will say to me, like, you say stuff like, "Oh, I like white people, I like black people, I like brown people, I like green people," and you're like, "Whoa, green people, no." Like, no, I got to draw the line there. Like, I'm not going to go all in with you. And it's kind of like that sometimes with other topics. Listen, you see a green person, right? Sarah, shoot on sight.
What?
If you see a green person, shoot on sight.
Okay.
It's a Martian or a zombie is not good.
Yeah, but
Or if they're just really seasick.
oh,
What?
Yeah.
No. Cyn.
Really green in the face. So.
Really green, like nauseous.
Oh, a really green person? Really? Come on now.
Frankenstein.
All right.
Not on Halloween. Please, nobody shoot anybody green on Halloween. It's a costume.
All right. Let me start with this. When did you get make the decision that said in your head, like, where, like, hey, I'm going to write my first book? Like, you probably thought about it for a long time, and then at one point you probably went, "Fuck, I'm going to write my first book." When
back in college, actually, right after I graduated high school, really, my dad talked about writing a book, and it kind of stumped me all of a sudden, because I was like, you want to write a book? I had no idea. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to write a book on my life story. And he had notes, all kinds of notes. And I was like, well, that's really cool, Dad, because his life was kind of amazing. I mean, from the cotton fields, very, very poor, to a double scholarship to attend college, and then went on to play pro baseball for, until he was up against Willie Mays. And then he came back home to the cotton mills. But by that time, he had gone into the Army and, gone around a few bases and stuff, married my mom. And so cotton fields to pro baseball to working for the government at the arsenal in Huntsville to opening his own business, and, everything that happened, all the ups and downs, and all of the people that had inspired him over the years, his coaches, and specifically the coaches at college and the scouts that had come around, because his parents, his father did, but his father worked on the railroad. He was never really there. His mother was not a very nice person and never really wanted a child, and he got the brunt of it. So, just actually rising from the ashes to do something important to you. And that was always in the back of my mind. So when I actually started editing Mark's books, and I got my first 4 stories put in Till Gray's book, Shades of Angels, I think is the name of it. Mark said, you need to write your book. And I don't know if I'm ready. He said, it's time. So
Okay.
he gave me the kind of kick in the pants to.
Let me ask you this, though. Here's a truthful question.
Yeah.
And, Sarah, I want you to answer this as well.
Okay.
Would you and could you honestly write your life story and be okay with letting everyone read it? Because me personally, I writing personal stuff like that would be weird. It would be really hard. I don't think I would want to. So.
I mean, the Cyn's book is very personal. You know how many people put all their feelings out there to put those stories in the Cyn's book? It's, yeah. I mean, my sister and me and Greg went Friday night to a football game at Wyatt's old high school. He was actually, they dedicated a plaque, gave one to his mom, and the bigger one, they're hanging in the field house next to Tate Tootin's jersey, which is the friend that died 2 years before Wyatt. Wyatt and his friend Matthew Tito played Wish You Were Here at Tate's funeral. Mm-hmm. And so 2 years later, Matthew, the other one that had played, is playing at Wyatt's funeral. Mm-hmm. And so they're going to be hung next to each other. And I'm sure there's a couple more boys. At least one that I can think of that will probably have a plaque put up too. But just the fact that they said Wyatt had brought so much positivity to, the field room and the field house, and the fact that he was there all the time taping them. He had played for a little while, but his passion was behind the camera, actually catching all the action and loving it. And
but it was on the field for football or in the gym for basketball?
It was both. He actually taped both. He was at all the games.
So here's my thing with sports. And, sorry, you can side now. There's certain thing about sports, right? Accomplishments or achievements, or how hard you work at sports, even if it's filming, even if it's catching it, it's all like you're on the fly. There's a certain feeling of it. That energy, I believe, get stuff. Like I really think a lot of guys leave energy behind on their trophies. It's just my opinion. But
I didn't catch that honestly because I think
Yeah.
you're out again.
You keep cutting out just a little bit. Hold please again. Well, Mike cuts out and cuts back in again.
Now say again.
I don't know. I don't completely remember what I said. I don't.
We leave energy behind when we
Yes. Men on trophies. Yes. Men on trophies. Sporting events. Anything to do with sports, filming it, being in the event itself. There's something where you're pushing, you're trying to be as good as you possibly can. You're thinking. That's an emotional energy that gets left behind, like the Heisman Trophy, certain things like that. They've got something to them. I believe that. What do you think about that, Cyn?
There's definite energy left around, and I think all the excitement and everything on the field, on the court, all of that just ramps up. I know that Wyatt checked in I guess it was just a couple of days before we actually went to to accept on the field. I went out I talked to Susan and said they're asking about this Friday night. And she said, yeah, I guess, if you go. And I said, yeah, I'll go. Do you want me to see if Greg will go? And she said, oh God, I would feel so much better if he went too. So I walked outside and talked to Greg, and he said, absolutely, I'll be there. And I turned around and there's a blue jay feather. So in my head, Wyatt is going to leave me feathers that are blue jay or red-winged blackbird. And there was a blue jay feather right there.
Cyn, Blue Jays. Let me tell you something. My mom claimed my dad came back as a blue jay. So
right.
Blue jay that was always around my house. True story.
I know.
Then when my mom passed away, that 2 blue jays showed up. It freaked me out. So yeah, some of those blue jays now just freak me out in general.
Hence the story that I still don't have from you, Mike, for Science Book 2.
Yeah. Here's what I've learned with paranormal. No,
you don't want to do it.
Like if I actually said what I believe or what I've seen or what I think, no one's gonna believe me. I've learned that. But no one believes anybody. No one believes anybody. They don't believe anybody. It doesn't matter what you say. They don't believe you.
No, and it doesn't matter because it's what you believe. It's what you know in your heart, what you know in and what everything, all the feelings, all the emotions that connect in with whatever sign it is. As long as you know, that's all you need. You don't need validation from anybody else.
Can I tell you what freaked me out though?
What?
Listen, they're talking about AI and how it's evolving. They're putting it robots and like they asked AI like, what would it want most from the human experience? And it was saying that it would want to move its arms, have arms and legs, right? So it goes on to talk about like how that's where it wants to progress, and then it talks about the human brain and how there is electricity for some reason, right? We generate electricity for some reason. But there's something else going on inside us. And then they talk about like what's the soul? The soul is another thing that was trying to find the body. So it's almost as if like what the comparison was is that we're already the AI succeeded. And there's just another AI that's trying to take a different form greater than ours. More like human robot. Did anyone follow what I just said?
I think Cyn's with me on that one. It's like, yeah, that we are if we are AI, then somebody would have had to have made this AI.
the soul, in other words, is another form of AI. It's just like AI is just trying to find like a body and to evolve into another creation, right? Because like this, like, dude, obviously we didn't come from the whole Darwin thing. Just please throw that out, right? Something's going on. We've had a pact with the government's had a pact with aliens since like freaking Eisenhower. That only we would deal with them. That's like a big thing that eventually get blown over. What do you think then? Like, why would that not be possible? In other words, they're just versions of civilizations that keep progressing and keep evolving. And obviously, AI is evolving in a way that we can't. It's actually going a step above us. And once it gets arms and legs, then it's kind of what we did. But is it the next level?
Doesn't Elon Musk already have a robot companion person?
Oh, God.
Listen to me, I saw a video of a company that makes a robot that walks, has hands, right? And
Yep.
It's big. It's a black robot, all black face. And you can tell it's open stuff, to move stuff. Its hands work well. I'm going, oh, crap almighty.
Yep.
Take the batteries out of that
Have
one.
you not seen Terminator?
Yeah, just
Right?
but they're doing it. And then here's the thing, the Chat GPT thing. So Chat GPT came out with like Chat GPT like 6, their newest version of it, right? But all of a sudden, Chat GPT 2 came out. And they're like, what is this? We didn't do this. What happened was Chat GPT created a better version of itself
Wow.
on its own.
Wow.
And it's better than the version 6 of the one that they've made.
Can I do a spin-off question, though?
Corrections. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, because we're talking to Cyn, and Cyn, you've got another book on near-death experiences coming out soon, right?
Well, let's say as soon as I get done with Mark's recipe book,
Okay.
then I've got actual 3 that I've got working on. Yeah. So there is Death's Door, near-death experiences, angel rescues, and spirit warnings. And that one's actually going to have your story in it, Sarah.
Spirit warnings.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
By the way, if this cookbook doesn't come out,
my question. Hold on, Mike.
Oh.
Hold on. If we were all AI, we've talked a lot. How does that allow for things like near-death experiences, like such a unique experience that people like and Cyn studied these things? So I'm just wondering what she thinks is like, if the soul was actually AI, then how would that explain how near-death experiences?
Let me pose it like this: Are all souls connected?
I think so.
I think so too.
Okay.
I think everyone is connected. And
wait, stop on that. Is all AI connected?
I don't think so. I think there's different versions of it, aren't there?
It's all connected.
Are you sure?
The internet type stuff is all connected.
Well,
yeah.
Just saying. I mean, I don't believe it, but I heard it. And when you think about it, you look at it, and you watch the progression of it, you go, we keep making movies about it as if someone knew, right? Like, what if that's the next step? Robot.
Okay, but Cyn still didn't have a chance to answer the question.
There you go. All right. I'm sorry, but I get excited.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Cyn, go ahead.
Cyn, how could we possibly tie in AI and the near-death experience? It doesn't seem to make sense. Does it make sense to you at all?
I don't think so. I think a person having a near-death experience involving the soul, and we are all connected. On a tangent, reincarnation and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
You know, when someone actually, say, dies on the table, comes back after a minute and a half or whatever,
Mhm.
and remembers something or being somewhere that there's no way that body could have been anywhere, except
Right.
they have all of the detail from, you know, from what they had on, who they saw, what time of day it was, where it was.
Mhm.
I, you know, is that can't be just the brain making up stuff. It can't be. It's got to be some kind of connection beyond.
Yeah, because we've talked about this. Because like when I had mine, you know, and I was in an induced coma, so I was drugged so severe that I didn't really have, like, I was incapable of dreaming
Mhm.
or anything like that. Did not have that type of. The doctors explained my brain activity as that of a goldfish. I was just keeping myself alive. How
Right.
would I have had
How did you?
that
Yeah.
experience?
There's no
There's
no
no explanation.
reasonable explanation. There's no
Right.
scientific explanation. There's nothing that's concrete that says, you know, there's no way you could have had that.
But to say that the mind couldn't imagine that, I don't.
I mean, it can dream, it can imagine, but also being
And actually,
connected.
once a mind imagines something that
What's a what?
once a mind imagines something that extreme, isn't that technically real?
Technically a memory too.
But you don't have brain activity. So how is your mind imagining with no brain activity?
It's just it could be just firing off, doing like
The neurons firing and all that kind of stuff.
creating all these different scenarios.
It just seems like you wouldn't remember. You know what I mean? Like it seems so odd. It seems so odd that, well, I can only relate to my own experience. In a medically induced coma for 2 weeks, and you only remember one thing.
and it's so real to you.
And it's so real, and yet everyone tells you, medical doctors are telling you, no, you could not dream. You could not have this, you can't have this memory. Your brain did not have the power. Neurons firing or not, your brain did not have the power to come up with this scenario.
All right. So, biggest advice to people in paranormal in general, overall, if you have something happen to you and you believe that it happened, you do not need anyone else's validation for what happened to you. I wish people understood that, but they don't. You don't need validation. I can tell you you're wrong all day. I had to have notes, a pie chart, all kinds of stuff. If you think it's real, you know it was real. Doesn't matter what I say.
It's just that innate desire to be accepted and to have someone validate you. It's just everybody kind of got that feeling that they really want somebody to validate it so that they know that it really happened, even though it was in their head. They know it really happened, and it's possible.
Right. You want to, and Cyn, I'm sure you're used to this, is that people want to speak to other experiencers. They want to know their stories. They want to read their stories because it's so unexplainable. And you'll think about it a lot, and it can be very confusing. And then you even start to wonder if you're crazy. And I find that in the paranormal, the one thing people do want to know, it's not validation, is they want to know they're not nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had an event. I've had at least 2 events where if I wrote down, I would look at it and go, he's crazy.
Nuts.
Yeah, so I'm not willing to actually put that stuff down. So do you run into that, Cyn? You quite ask people, like, hey, be in the book, and they're like, you know what? I just can't put that stuff down on paper.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them have allowed me to, as long as everything about their story anyone mentioned is anonymous.
Right.
So I've made up names, I've made up places, but the experience is what they swear has happened to them, and what they experienced and what they felt at the time, and all that stuff. So
Yep.
there's
But someone like me, probably one of my freakiest things was by myself. So I have nobody that.
yeah, but a lot of times when something happens to you paranormally, it is by yourself. Nobody is around to witness it with you. I've had so many things happen to me when nobody was around, but I swear by them because they happened. They happened.
I swear to God, you guys, like whether it's family or whoever bops around this house with me knows I'm leaving because I'm moving and I'm packing. And the weirdest crap has been going on in my house all week. And if I said it out loud, it would seem like I think that somebody would just probably come in and put me in an institution right now. But the weirdest stuff has been going on all week. The only witness I have is the cat. She knows whenever something happens, my little cat comes up and she paws at my leg like, hey, did you catch that? And I'm like, yeah, Sheebs, I got it. The little black one. She loves.
Did you just diss your dog?
The dog doesn't care.
I was going to say, yeah.
I'm going to tell you right now, the dog doesn't care at all either way.
About the paranormal stuff. Yeah.
No, but the cat does.
Cyn.
Mike. Yes, Mike.
With the political season coming up. I don't know if you see it.
No. Yeah, we did.
We're offering up Kobe Bow in Spirit in 2024. It's the only reasonable, legit choice. I figure, why not elect these dogs?
Yep.
They're going to do the right thing.
Good choice.
Did he look presidential in his Batman outfit?
No, the interesting thing about that Cyn is when Mike initially had the idea, it was Spirit Kobe Bow. So Spirit, my dog, was supposed to be on the presidential ticket and Kobe was VP. And then he changed it because he decided Kobe looked more presidential.
He's
bigger.
He's a Batman costume there.
Yeah, like how do you? Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean? Like he has to. All right, I don't know why we're talking about dogs. So Cyn, you write the first book, right? How does it become something that you keep doing? In the sense of what I'm saying is,
because
patient from the first book enough where you're like, I gotta keep doing that. Like just even the personal getting it out type gratification.
It is once you get it done. Yes, that's and then holding it in your hand is a whole nother level.
Yes,
that's a good thing. But my first book wasn't supposed to be my first book. My third book was supposed to be my first book. So that's what kept me going. Because I knew I want that third book. They're speaking, Are You Listening? My EVPs that you can listen to online. I knew I wanted people to be able to experience the EVPs, but I didn't know how to go about it. And it just took longer to put together as far as that part of it, the technical part of it. The writing was easy. I just wrote about the investigations and everything that happened at those investigations. And then later on decided, well, hell, I'm just going to put them on the website so people can listen to them. That's how we'll tie that in together.
But getting the book in your hand, right?
Yeah.
Getting what you worked on in that form, in physical form. It's a fun moment, right?
It's a great moment. And you know what's going to be one of the best moments ever? When I get Mark's cookbook in my hand.
Can you pick it up? Are you going to be able to pick it up?
I don't know.
Listen to me. Check me out, right? I'm doing sports, wrestling. I am brothers, Christ, football, stuff like that. So I'm going to bet you on this cookbook. I don't know if it's going to come out. I would give it a 10% chance that it's never done. It's one of those things that it's like always
don't do that to her.
And it becomes like something he adds on. She's already given him too much time. Adds on. It's gonna be
Let me throw a little Southern on you. Bite your tongue, Mike.
Yeah.
Bite your tongue.
I wish
just
I could
saying.
do that.
You got to give them a hard line as far as like, all right, that's enough recipes. Let's stop at 1 billion.
But I want to know why, Cyn, with your podcasting history, and you have such a lovely voice and intonation, how come audiobooks? How come you haven't read these?
Yeah, no, I'm getting to that, but like I said, everything is on hold with this darn cookbook. I can't until I get this cookbook out. I am not going to be able to think about adding to, my stuff right now. I can't.
Since we're talking about it, I feel like you should remind us, like, a little bit about Mark's cookbook and what it's about.
It my mean old grandma's good old cookbook and more.
Grandma's good old cookbook and more. But aren't there like different types of recipes in this?
Oh God, yeah. There are regular recipes, which are going to be on the good sister side. The bad sister side is going to have a warning that says, if you're squeamish, don't open this part of the book. But there's also going to be funeral food in there, the history behind it, corpse cookies. Cool. Yeah, corpse cookies.
Corpse cookies?
Sin eaters. Yeah.
What's that?
It's old back European sin eaters that someone would have in their village to come to a wake and take the sins. So what would happen when someone would die is that they would bake a bread or a cookie of some type particular that they would actually, before they baked it, put it on the corpse's chest so that supposedly the essence of the individual would go into the bread that they were about to bake. And then the sin eater could eat that bread after it was baked. So he would eat all of the sins of their loved one so they could go to heaven.
Oh, wow.
And onto a good.
Basically, what I just heard, if I'm correct, that if I were to drop right now on the ground, right, you better put a whole bunch of dough on top of me.
Right? Yeah, me too.
You motherfuckers, I find out anybody doesn't start shoveling dough on top of my chest, I swear to Christ, I'm coming back angry.
But who's eating the white cookie? You have to find that person first.
There's got to be a sin eater.
There's got to be a sin eater, and that sounds like a job that might require some training.
Right?
Or
yeah.
Somebody with a gullet.
You want to get sick from the sins.
Well, yeah, but you've got to be able to run really fast too, because the sin eater in the beginning of the story is a well-respected person that comes in to take the sins of their loved one. But as soon as he eats that bread, he has to run for his life because the family chases him with clubs, bats, whatever they have to beat the bad stuff out of their property. So
just happened.
Exactly.
What were you telling a story about cookies? And now bats.
I was all for the cookies. So you got cheese and bats.
It's a hard left turn.
Exactly. But corpse cookies are actually like ginger snaps or molasses cookies, things like that, because they last a long time. And when they made some of these things and like bride loaves and different wedding kind of fruitcake kind of thingies, they made them to last for many months, if not up to a year, so that they could save bites for loved ones that couldn't have made it to the funeral or wedding or whatever the event was, and then they could share that part of the event with them so they could be there.
Cyn, as Italian, I wish I could get a t-shirt made that says this without offending people. You know what I meant? It would say, fruitcakes are forever.
They are, yeah.
They last. Dude, that thing's there months.
You know what?
Good.
I actually like fruitcake.
I haven't found one I like yet.
I actually like I actually like fruitcake.
Wow. Well, there's some old recipes like from the 1800s and or whatever.
Yeah, not the store bought one, but if you got like a fruit cake that was made, it's actually. But I also like carrot cake that people make fun of.
I love carrot cake.
I digress, but I've been adding Cool Whip to my grocery list, and I gotta be honest, Cool is phenomenal. I mean,
yeah, Cool Whip's pretty good,
especially with pistachio pudding mix and crushed pineapple.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Listen to me. I realize that I'm not a good person because there's so many different type of cookies that I'll put in Cool Whip that they don't need Cool Whip. It's like, oh no,
you're just over the top with it.
Yeah. The Rice Krispie treats, dipping them in the Cool Whip.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's not
if I get the chance to do that.
that sounds very unhealthy. I am looking forward to pumpkin pie and Cool Whip though, because pumpkin season.
I can go for one piece and then I'm good. I don't need it.
Oh my god. I could literally eat a whole pumpkin pie.
I'm a cheesecake guy. Let's get back to Cyn.
Yeah.
So how many books total?
I mean, what? Huh?
How many books total have you written? Total
books written at this point published are 5. I'm working on number 6, which is the near-death experience that we talked about, Death Store. The second book in the Cyn series, and then a third one that is the darker stories, like Realm of Shadows was. So things. So,
so writing these books, what other authors have you met that have like affected you? Like you had to like meet somebody somewhere doing book stuff that you read their stuff. Maybe they rubbed off on you.
Well, Austin Lawrence is a great friend of mine. I've actually investigated with him. He wrote a book, Smith's Mill, I believe is the name of it. It's a true story out of Kentucky, and what happened to him on an investigation. And then also a fictional book called Hell's Carnival, which had me, I thought I knew what was going on until the very last sentence. And I went, what? And it was very good. So that was Austin. I've also met Pat Fitzhugh, who is the historian of Bell Witch. That is so many Bell Witch books. So he's a great guy to talk to, and a great speaker. Eric Freeman Sims is working on a book about. It's not just cryptids, but it's strange folklore and legends of the Tennessee area. So it's lesser known legends that he has found that are really surprising, and you're like, wait a minute, I've never heard of that, and it's just regional kind of thing. So that's been interesting.
Can I just make one quick Tennessee joke?
Wait a minute, and then Al Cooley up in Ohio has just come out with his first one, and he wrote the foreword to my book of signs, the next book of signs. So now, Mike, go ahead, Tennessee joke.
It was something along the lines of how do you spot the difference between the cryptids?
That wasn't funny.
By the teeth that are missing? What?
I don't know, that's why I didn't say it, man. Bother it. I didn't push.
Was that joke. What it was?
Yeah, well, no, it's just a joke. It's what I do. I didn't. If I would have done it at the time, it would have been good. But when you hold off on it, it loses its bite, its whole. You know how jokes go, how jokes are.
So I ruined your joke. I'm sorry.
That's all right. It didn't help that this one.
Wrong way.
Point it out and make sure that, she lets you know she's disapproval.
I'm sorry, my face does not hide things well.
So,
I'm sorry. Did I roll my eyes out loud?
Yeah, very much so. So, Cyn, do you see yourself stopping writing? Like just not writing anymore? Like, do you see yourself hitting a limit of books and being like, all right, I'm done? Or do you see yourself writing until you can't stop writing?
I see myself writing until I can't stop because I'm going the number 4 in order of the 3 I just talked about. The 4th one after that is going to be about the old hospital here. And then I've looked into cryptids of Tennessee and the region and talking about them. I've got a book of serial killers coming out later on. And
I'm not on it.
Really bad serial killers, that kind of thing.
I'm not listed.
No, not yet.
All right, good. Just checking.
Not yet. No.
He wants us to eat cookies off of his body. He could possibly be a serial killer. Anything else? He tells half jokes.
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't understand.
I asked Cyn a question, maybe?
Please do.
You've been hogging Cyn this whole time. I'm curious, Cyn. I'm curious.
Odd choice of words.
No. I'm curious about your process because, like, we all know you keep strange sleeping hours. Not strange, but
No,
right?
Strange. No, bullshit. One thing I'm going to stick to on this is ridiculous sleeping hours. Actually, operational hours.
Is that
It's
specific?
like a doctor that's not going to answer. He gives you a half hour a day. You if you don't want to stay up in the morning, you're not going to make a contact. Okay, I'm sorry. I digress. My bad.
Is this specifically because of your writing process? Like, this is when you find it easier to write? I've like always wondered that.
It actually is. It is easier for me to write late at night. It is. But I'm just an insomniac. So it's just, it works for me. I'm
Creative
good.
people are. Creative people, I think, we have trouble sleeping, all sorts of taking medications that help us sleep does not count. If I didn't take prescription medications, I swear to God, I wouldn't sleep at all. And I wish I could write, but I feel like I need to move my body. So, like, I'll get up and start rearranging furniture a couple of times. And I'm not like an exercise buff. So please, this doesn't make me sound like I just like love the gym, but I joined a gym. And when I couldn't sleep, I was like going to the gym at 4:00 in the morning.
Okay. So that's exactly what writing is. Here's the thing, right? All the things you want to accomplish, like writing, the gym, all that stuff, you're going to hate the beginning of it, like the grind of it. You gotta want to hate that. Like, you gotta want to hate the fact that, like, it's uncomfortable that I gotta sit here and just at least bang out this, get this done. Let me see how I do with this. Let me just keep producing whether I want to or not, which is working out and is also writing a book. Did I just make sense?
My point, kind of, I don't know if Cyn's not my point. My point is that I don't actually want to be doing things. I'm just manic.
Can't help it.
I want to be sleeping.
It's just writing a book is hard because you have to come back to the idea you were working on before. And for some people, they want to bop around the new ideas. It's saying, no, I'm sticking to this. Even though I might have a new idea. And Cyn, doesn't it happen a lot when you're writing something? That's what it is.
Hang on just a second. Hang on just a second.
Hold on. Cyn said, hold, please.
What if she starts playing the banjo? Or the accordion? That'd be great.
Right. Having an issue. Hang on just a second, please.
All right. Sorry, you want to sing?
Talk amongst yourselves.
All right.
No. Do I want to sing? Nobody wants me to sing. That's not a thing.
We're starting legit tonight next week.
Yeah, we are starting legit tonight next week. It's going to be our variety show, but I will not be singing.
Okay.
She's back.
Hey.
Better.
I just had a your battery is about to die on your computer situation. So I thought everything was plugged in correctly. Alas, it was not.
Well, we're at the hour mark, so maybe your computer just knew it was timed.
Your computer is just sick of Mike.
Did you set it at the
No,
hour?
I did not. Not at all. I'm ready to talk another hour.
It's like, I know this hour flew by.
Why should we stop now?
We don't have to stop.
I
You
say
should do
we
it
don't
first.
have to. I'm plugged in. I got juice.
She's got the juice.
All right, then, Sarah, you ask the next question.
Okay, are we sticking on the writing topic, or can I just ask Cyn? Like,
I don't care what you ask. I just told you. Just ask a question.
ooh, pissy.
Well,
So, Cyn, I've been reading about the whole concept of soul contracts. I don't know if you've read about this at all. So it's the idea that before we're even born, if we say we're all interconnected in some way, that we have all, met before we're incarnated onto this earth, and we have contracts with each other that you're going to come into my life at a specific time for a specific reason. Or if I haven't learned a lesson by this point, this person's going to come into my life and teach me that lesson. So that it kind of makes me, I've seen there's always a lot about on social media about how people are like, oh, friends are, so temporary, or this person or that person did this to me, or that person did this other thing to me. Do you think we get too hung up on the little things that happen in life, and maybe when somebody's in our life, if only for a temporary time, we should step back and see what type of what lesson or what did this person bring to my life, instead of constantly worrying about how it ended? Because just like your books, everything's a new chapter, right? Mm-hmm. So if we're all connected, then are we all supposed to be in each other's lives forever? Or is it possible that we're all just sort of floating in and out, teaching each other these karmic lessons?
I think it's a combination. I think anyone that comes into your life is meant to come into your life specifically, whether it's for a short term or a long term, whether they're teaching you a lesson or you're teaching them a lesson. It could be just the opposite, that they come into your life for a short time. You might have to teach them something that they haven't learned yet. I think we're all in this together, whether we want to be or not. And I think that if...
Oh, look who it is. It's Krista.
Aw.
I put that up.
I think that everybody being all of this last few years of being upset by everything, all the little stuff, is bogging us all down.
Right.
That's what it's if we can just get by opinions and trying to one up people, and just basically be kind to each other,
right,
and live and let live, it would be such a better place to live. Such a better place.
I don't understand, I guess, why we find it so necessary to categorize people in our lives as either heroes or villains. Because I know personally, I've probably been both a hero and a villain in lots of people's.
I'm sure we all have. Really?
Life, right?
Yeah.
And when we're reading these things, especially like ghost stories, paranormal stories, it seems like what keeps the energy around, what keeps the energy stuck, is not being able to let these little types of things go.
Yeah. And I don't know if you guys are the same, but I can remember stupid stuff I did that embarrassed the hell out of me much clearer than the good things that have happened.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like it was fried into my body, that mortifying situation. And
I just say it out loud during a shower. Like I'm showering and I'll be just showering. I'll think of some stupid thing I did. I'll be like, ah!
I was going to say, that's mortifying. You're right. Just kidding.
No, but listen, soul contracts, that concept.
Yeah, soul contract.
That's what I think. I think sometimes you realize, either I've known this person or I'm supposed to know this person.
Yeah.
And it, I would say you get 10 your whole life of certain people that you go, I think I know this person.
I think there's more than that.
Yeah. I'm very.
You might have 10 very, very, very close ones.
Yeah.
But, there's others that you just meet for even a 5-second or 5-minute.
Well, I think that's my.
And it's like you guys have known each other for 5 years instead of 5 minutes.
That is my point.
There's a lot more than 10. There's a lot.
Close friends that I grew up with, I don't have the same connection with.
No, yeah.
But all of a sudden,
exactly.
And when it happens, it's brace yourself because you got to go,
yeah.
Because it makes you think, all right, there's some other level to this, because I'm identifying already that it's like, wait a minute, I either know you or I'm supposed to know you, and then you go, well, what the hell, why? And then it's going to be another level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've met a couple of people like that over panic attacks, and one was back when I went back to college for physical therapy, and I still hadn't figured out why I was having these terrible panic attacks. And I mentioned something. The girl sitting behind me tapped me on the shoulder, and I kind of did this because I was trying to keep myself out of a panic attack. When I have them, everything gets too loud, too bright,
Right.
too surreal. Everything is too dreamlike, and it's like you need to pinch yourself to make sure you're still awake. It's terrifying. And I was in one of those situations, and she tapped me, and I turned around and she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "I will be." And she said, "What's going on?" And I said, "I'm just nothing. And she said, "Are you having a panic attack?" Yeah. And she said, "You're okay. Just breathe.
Yeah.
And she was recognizing, even me sitting in front of her, she was recognizing some kind of tension and feeling some kind of tension coming from me. And we've been buddies all the way through that school. I've lost contact with her now, but she was there for a reason. And we got to talk about that and kind of work stuff through, and learn to breathe through it.
But these people don't come across always in the most opportune times. Like what I'm saying is, like, there's certain people that I don't know if you felt like that in your life, where you're like, I knew this guy. Like, I know this guy. How do I know this guy? So I don't see this guy again. But I remember like the incident of what he did, like whatever. That's just how that works with certain people. My opinion. I don't know. It's like the grape branch, the grapes. Certain people that are connected.
Yeah, and they say, or they call it a red thread, and it's sort of like we said, everyone's connected. Then we all have sort of met before. I think that sometimes people just play either a more major or more minor role in our lives for whatever reason, for that life. That is to say, if you believe in reincarnation at all, which I do, I don't know if I want to have a past life regression. I know I remember. Like, I know I've had a past life experience, but I don't know if I want to know. What if I was an asshole?
Well, I mean...
Wait.
Don't, Mike, don't even.
What do you mean? Like, my question is, what do you mean? So,
like, what if I was a really bad person? Like, I already have guilt. I still have guilt. You talk about those things that are burned in your brain, Cyn. I have one when I was very little. I tell this story a lot, so I'm going to tell Mike gets to do it. So I'm going to tell or So I'm in Pizza Hut. Do you guys remember in Pizza Hut how they would do the little like they would have Care Bears or Smurfs, and you got the glasses that were awesome. I wish I kept those things, man. And it was Care Bears. And everybody was getting the Care Bear glasses at the Pizza Hut. And the Care Bears were there, and it was the sad bear, the one with the rain, the blue one. He had the rain clouds on his belly, and he came up to the table, and I'm just a little kid, and he said, like, what's your favorite Care Bear? And I said it was the rainbow one. And my grandmother, because I don't know if this is an Italian thing, we couldn't hurt anyone's feelings. It wasn't polite. Oh, that's not polite. Now you just hurt this Care Bear's feelings.
Yeah.
I still have nightmares about hurting a Care Bear's feelings, and I was 6. Probably.
The depressed Care Bear at that.
The depressed Care Bear. So can you imagine if in another life I was like Jack the Ripper? Oh my God. I would have some guilt.
People have stories like stuff like they'll say like, I was in a fight for my life. The bear was on me. I had to push it off. Next thing you know, there was hornets, and I was stung dramatically. And then people have stories like, my grandma made me feel bad about my Care Bear. Now, the level of like importance or like severity.
No, don't say that. Be a 6-year-old for a second. Be a 6-year-old little girl who loves Care Bears, and you think that you just destroyed a Care Bear's soul,
right?
I don't. I guess I'm just saying. I'm drinking Hulk Hogan's Real American Beer. I might be the wrong guy to ask to be a Care Bear, little girl pretending to be a Care Bear at this moment. I'm saying I might be the wrong guy. I don't know.
maybe.
See, you guys both know that I have, and I always have something waiting for me at around this time. And it's my dog, who's running for. He's still running for office.
What the hell? Not alone.
Colby Bowen Spirit 2024, the only reasonable legit choice. Look,
This spirit on a little blinky.
after they do that debate on the 10th, everybody's going to vote for these 2 dogs because these 2 dogs, they're good dogs.
She heard you call her name and she just came over.
Aww.
She's
Yeah. That's funny.
Faith wants to be Secretary of State.
Oh.
So we get something lined up. I would vote for the dog at this point. I just to be that guy. I'm gonna go. You know what?
Cyn, we'll give your cat some cabinet positions. A little bit of nepotism there.
Yeah, they're open. They're open.
Yeah. Yep.
I don't know. Bella doesn't care.
Bella, she can be
Jazzy.
secretary of catnip.
Oh,
Secretary.
she doesn't care. Let's put her in charge of the CIA and FBI. Thank you for that one.
She would do it. She like, yeah, go ahead.
It is just jokes. Those are just jokes. Just jokes.
No.
Cyn, what would you say to wrap it up?
I've got several things coming up. I have a few more podcasts I'm going to be on. I have on the 26th of this month, Athens, Alabama Library. I'll be storytelling and selling my books from 6 until 8. October 5, I'll be in Chickamauga, Georgia at the Green Eyes Festival, which is like the Southern Mothman. It's got green eyes.
Chica what?
Chickamauga.
Chickamauga.
Chickamauga?
Chickamauga. On the 12th of October, I'll be in Mayfield, Kentucky at the Haunted Graves Paracon and actually speaking there.
Nice.
And on the 26th of October, I'll be at my good friend Valerie Young's store on the north side of the Fayetteville Square for the Spirits with the Spirits walk storytelling in her store from 7 until 9.
Oh,
Hey,
lots of stuff.
So when are you going to write a kid's book so you can get into that market?
Yeah, I'm not to that point yet.
Opens up a lot of people.
Yeah. Kids scare me.
It's
Write a book about how kids.
paranormal investigator.
Dude, and there it is. Your book is about how kids scare you.
Not just scare, they terrify me.
Yeah, write a book about it. And then
That's why I
they
have
have
thoughts.
Halloween is even worse because they're out there in mass.
Yeah, and they're all dressed up so you don't know who they are. They're terrifying.
And then like, we jump out of the bushes and we whack them with sticks. Was that too far?
We chase them, we give them a cookie, and then we go, run, kid.
And it's a corpse cookie. I could give corpse cookies out.
You give corpse cookies out.
Man,
But you have to chase the kids with bats after you give them.
I need a broomstick. A broomstick's funnier because it's not going to really knock somebody out, but it makes that sound when you hit somebody with it. Let me digress.
Here you go. Run.
To wrap it up.
Cyn, thank you so much for coming on. Everyone, please check out Cyn if you're in the area for all those events. Definitely check out her books on Amazon. We've got a whole new show lineup, so I updated our schedule on the website this morning. We also have a new host. We have Marsha Robinson joining us on the Legit Witches Inn, which is returning this fall with Sarah G. Witch MD. She is from Crescent Moon Tarot. And this week we have Legit News and Legit Clips. Legit News is Wednesday at 8:05 p.m. Eastern, and Legit Clips is at 9:05 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. 9:05? I think. Yes, I'm correct.
I know I have a football show in there. We start Sunday at 11:05 a.m. We pick the games, give you last minute fantasy advice. I get the rest of the one that'll be coming up. Seeing how I am, brothers in Christ, with Hulk Hogan. The news will be about just news in general, any type of news in the world. The clips will be clips on anything in the world. It's weird. The paranormal is going to be kept more to a Sunday night. Mm-hmm. And I guess the witch and Shawooten and whoever else.
Witch.
Yeah, the witch. G, which MD.
We have two witches now, so you have to differentiate, and you still got to give. You're gonna have to give Marsha a nickname, so we're still working on that.
I give Marsha a nickname, and she's second.
What?
That's easy.
Okay, we'll talk.
Just think Brady Bunch. All right, go ahead.
Okay, Marsha.
Yeah, who's second? Who's second?
Jan?
There you go.
No.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll make it work with her name.
Anytime you wanna come back on and say hello to us, you're always welcome here. We miss you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for asking me that. Appreciate you.
Let me wrap it up like this. For Cyn Shrader Hill. You guys talk? No. Author. For Sarah
Paranormal.
It is me. Mike Leopard King, Mike Hill. This was Legit Paranormal, brought to you by legitpodcast.com. Please check out the website. Thank you for watching the